Hey Misplayers, Keith here at Slight Misplay. Today we're going to talk about some items by Yarro. The Immersive Battle Maps book that was put out via Kickstarter is now live on his website for sale, as well as the Immersive Battle Atlas, which is his current Kickstarter that I suggest you check out. It's a great follow-up to this. It's actually more expansive. So let's go into what this is first. This is a big book, all full of 30 full-size maps. I say full-size. Each of these maps is about 20 squares by about 18 squares. I think that's just about the sweet spot for an encounter that's going to last, 3 to 5 rounds for the most part. How much traveling you're going to be doing in there, how much tactical movement you're going to be doing. I think that's about perfect. I have some Pathfinder, Paizo battle maps, flip maps, whatever they are, that fold out. They're pretty big, and that's great. The art on those is great. However, even though they fold down well to travel with, they don't always fold down so well to have a smaller map on the table. There can be a lot of folding and refolding. They don't always stay flat. So if you don't need that whole expansive map on the table, it can be a little annoying to cover things up and try to explain to players what they are. This book is big, so you would think it's hard to travel with, but I was able to fit this guy nice and neatly into my backpack of holding with no problem. So it's a great addition to your travel, your go bag for D&D. It fits right in there. So if you need a random encounter and it's, you don't want to grab a whole bunch of buckets or bins of Dwarven Forge and carry them up the stairs to Gabi's house and hope that nothing slides off as your backpack slides down and you spill all your Dwarven Forge all over the place, and then you have to ring the doorbell and hope that the dog doesn't start barking and startle you or, jump on your leg and everything falls all over the place. This guy does fit right in your backpack. Hi, Gabi. Hi, Jack. So it's got a lot of different kind of encounter areas in here, from Coliseum, open seas. That's a great thing to just have thrown in there. There's also one of these guys with a boat on it if you want some ship-to-ship combat. They love this boat. This boat shows up in a bunch of these. There's a shipwreck, a marooned ship, ships in a dock. Lots of different encounters you can build with that. I love the idea of using this for a backup. If you have planned encounters, great. You can build a Dwarven Forge build and carry it with you with some terrain trays and some bins. But if you need something that's going to be pretty versatile, you're not sure what your players are going to do, you're not sure where an encounter is going to strike next, this is a really versatile tool, very flexible, to just be able to pull out and be like, oh, they're in an inn now. I didn't have an inn build, so just grab this and you've got pretty much a stock generic inn or a tavern or a marketplace or a town square. And as I was flipping through this, I was thinking to myself, geez, from the hard-backed adventures that I am running or want to run or have run in the past, there's a lot of maps in here that really just fit the bill. I was thinking as I was going through this, geez, I probably, if I needed to, could have run Curse of Strahd from this book and gotten about 80% of it in there. I couldn't do the Castle Ravenloft or anything, but I've got maps in here that I'm seeing could be used for Descent into Avernus, maps in here that could be used for Rime of the Frost Maiden, Tomb of Annihilation, Curse of Strahd, and there's a ton of just evocative maps there that you could just build a scenario around. And if you want to add a little bit, if you want to bring some Dwarven Forge tidbits and bring it to another dimension, literally just add some in there, which is a great technique to use even on flip mats or anything else. You just put a little bit of scatter terrain on there. It really brings things up. Little caveats on this. There is a table of contents, but there's no page numbers. So it's kind of finicky to find the map that you really want or try to remember, do I have a map that's perfect for that? Or am I just imagining it or misremembering it? So that's kind of a bummer with this. I do have to end up flipping through some pages. It looks like on their Kickstarter for the Battle Atlas, the maps are pull-out maps, but they are, I think they just unlocked a static cling tab system, so you can find what it is that you're looking for easily. Since they are removable, that's going to be handy. I do hope there is some kind of a system they're using, just printing the titles of the maps on the pages so you can tell what it is. It can be a little difficult if you don't know what they're going for on a particular map to figure out what it is. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a little obtuse in that area, but I was looking through some of them. I'm like, is this a marketplace? Is this a temple or a library? Which is it? Just for a couple of them, and seeing the names of them, just tying them together, just kind of gives you an idea of what the intention is. Doesn't mean you have to use it for that, of course, but it's nice to know. I like to know the title of something, so I have a little bit of an idea, and then I can go from there. This Kickstarter and available on their website are also static cling stickers. Problem with this is that there's really no way to put them back in a really reasonable area. There's nowhere to hold them. There's nowhere to prevent them from folding them. So when I went through this, my kids love playing with this because this is basically color forms for adults. My kids play with them just like color forms. When I went through this in prep for the review to look through everything, I was finding stickers everywhere in the book, which is awesome, but there's really no way to put them back. What they are doing in their current Kickstarter is including, as either an add-on or on some of the levels they're just including it in, is a sticker book to keep these nice and neat. So hopefully there's enough room in there for these as well. Otherwise I'll have to find another solution for that. The stickers are nice and evocative. There's treasure hoards, there's bows and arrows and caches of weapons and trees and all of these mine cart tracks and mine carts as well, which I thought was great until I realized there wasn't really a map that went really well with those, and there weren't a lot of those to make like a big, nice Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom style mine chase. So hopefully that'll be something they come up with, if you're listening, Tanner, in the Battle Atlas Kickstarter. The Battle Atlas Kickstarter has 3 different books that are part of the Kickstarter books because they're pulling things out. They're standalone maps, but 3 different collections, I guess. One of them I think is Dungeons or Caverns. One is Frozen Wastes, which I'm not sure we need a whole book of Frozen Wastes, but okay, we could try that. I mean, Rime of the Frost Maiden's the big thing right now, so let's see how that plays out. There is an ice flow map in this book. I would show it to you, but the table of contents, like I mentioned, I don't have it right queued up over here. I'll try to find that for you guys. And the 3rd book in the new Kickstarter is, I think they call it Planescape, but Plane is Plainscape. So it's lots of different terrains. It looks like wilderness stuff. I backed it at all 3 because I think these are great and versatile, even though I honestly haven't used them yet. I thought it was so big that I didn't start carrying it around, and it wasn't until I did the video that I was like, oh, this is pretty easy to carry. So I'm definitely, once the world starts reopening again and we can play with each other, this is definitely going to be part of my go bag. I love the portability of it, the versatility of it. Let's see, the size of the maps. They're about 20 squares by 18 squares. I think that's perfect. Plenty of room to maneuver around for a 3 to 5 round combat. How long are you playing combat for? I think that's pretty much it. Anything bigger than that, I don't know. I mean, they also say that you can get 2 of these and some of the maps line up with each other. I'm not really sure that would be worth it to get 2 of the same map, but it's nice that you could have that option if this is your go-to map solution for D&D or other TTRPGs. I really see a lot of use for these. I love Dwarven Forge. It can be time-consuming to set up and especially to travel with it. These are great for a quick encounter. You got a dungeon fight, done. Field, farm, waterfall, done. Got it. Temple, library, prison, barracks, tavern, inn, town square, market. It's all in there. They have docks. They have open sea. They have a maroon ship on a beach. Like I said, a shipwreck, an ice flow. There's an encounter on a rooftop on here. That's great. I mean, could I do that with Dwarven Forge in maybe a Paizo map? Of course, but only if I have it with me. If I don't know the players are going to be running across rooftops, which is a great idea, I've got something here for that. And it fits right in my backpack. I don't carry a bunch of Dwarven Forge city builder roofs in my backpack, no matter what anybody tells you. Because they're not Dwarven Forge, you've got a lot more gameable space built in at a much smaller price tag. And it's much more portable. Again, we're back to the real estate game. It's all what can you fit? What can you bring out there? The price tag, so let's see, you've got 30 maps here for about $50 for the book, and the Paizo maps, which are great, but they're $15 a pop, and that's, $45 for 6 maps versus a bazillion maps for $50. I think this is a great value. The no-brainer stuff, it's, fairly water resistant, just like a Paizo map would be. It's dry erase, wet erase compatible, so you can do that. I'm not sure if it's permanent marker compatible. I'd be careful before you did that, but who's really writing on permanent marker on these things anyways. So, if you have a couple Paizo maps and this, I think you're well set. Like the art is really great. There was a couple of swings and a miss for me, but I'm picky with that. I don't think anybody at my table would have a problem with it. Stickers are the same way. They're good representations of common items that you'd find. If you're looking for some battle maps for your loved one or for yourself, and if you're considering the current Kickstarter, definitely worth looking at. I'll put the links to both of them below. Let me know if you have any questions about this. As always, I love your questions and comments, so please keep them coming. Find and follow me on Twitter like an online bounty hunter if you want, at @SlightMisplay. If you like my content, consider helping me out on Patreon or Ko-Fi. Special thanks to Nicole and Clark for your contributions so far. It really just means a ton to have your support on this. Even just likes and shares, guys, anything just really warms the cockles of my cold, dead, undead heart. As always, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, sign the book, light the candle, stay at home, wear a mask, eat some turkey if you're watching this before Thanksgiving or even afterwards because leftovers are great. And until next time, onward.